for you personally, what does it mean in your work after you finish now these two films about 2012 and 2013? Do you follow this road and do something that is a step further on from these two films?
We are. We're
working on a lot of films.
Our next film is Infinity, the ultimate trip, and it's about life after death. And the subtitle is "No One Gets Out of Here Dead." You see, so you can't. If you think that you can run through this life and destroy things and hurt people, and that when you die you get a get out of jail free card, it doesn't work that way. No one gets out of here.
It doesn't
dead.
make sense that it could work that way.
No, Jim Morrison of The Doors said no one gets out of here alive, but he was wrong. No one gets out of here dead. Mm-hmm. And you can die, but you're going to come back. And you're going to keep going through it and going through it until you got it right. So why bother with that? Let's just do it right.
Exactly.
That's the thing.
Exactly.
That's what everything going on in this world now. We're realizing, we got to do it this time. This is the time to do it, and we've had enough of this childish. Our President George Bush of the United States, he's like an overwrought 10-year-old boy, and he needs to be smacked by his mama, and it isn't going to happen. Mm-hmm. And we keep electing extended adolescents in the United States who just keep doing boy things over and over, and who knows, we may be doing it again. But that has to end, and we have to not choose people because they're of the way they look. We have to choose people for what they are and the way they think. And that's the big mistake that we've been making for the last few hundred years, is we're not choosing our leaders for their heart. We're choosing them for how they look, or how much money they're going to promise you, and all that, and it's not going to work anymore. And the internet is part of this. Globalization is part of it. Peak oil is part of it. Overpopulation, the destruction of thousands of species which are dying right now, and the greatest die-off since the Precambrian die-off. All these things are happening right now, right while we're sitting here. And it's as if you took everything for the 60, 70,000 years of history and you compressed it into 20 years. That's what's going on now.
Everything accelerates at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, it happens very, very soon and fast.
It's interesting, as we interviewed all of these different scholars about death and the afterlife, they talk about something called a life review.
Uh-huh.
So that when you get, when you die, you actually go through this very quick review of your whole life.
Yes, you see it, and you feel everything that you did to people. That's what they all report. So if you hurt someone, you have to be that hurt person. But also, if you loved and helped someone, that happens too. And so you have to understand that this is what every person that you have hurt, you're going to have to live that hurt all the way through. So don't hurt anybody, because you're going to have to. And this has all been hidden. I don't know why it's been hidden. I'm not interested in why the authorities don't want us to know about the larger spiritual world. I don't care. Okay, we can go on and on about who they are and why they're doing it. I say, who cares? We now know that this is the world. This is a world that's been taught by thousands of generations for thousands of years, and they know a lot more than we think. We sit here in our modern world thinking that we know everything. Well, that's not true. We know very little. We're seeing everything through closed, boxed-in lenses, and egotism and materialism, never quite grasping the fact that the Mayan Indians in the Yucatan Peninsula 1,000 years ago not only were incredible astronomers and could look 1,000 years into the future with the stars without telescopes, but they knew that when they looked into the future, they knew what would happen here. When that happened.
At this moment in time.
Yeah, and to me, I don't know, you can have all the computers and the Hubble space telescopes and space shuttles and all the great inventions that we've made. It compares nothing to that. Nothing. And that's where, and that is atrophy. We've lost our ability. We still have it, but it's dying. And in that moment of right where it's near death, it's coming back. It's like, now it's coming back. And prophecy is alive and well on earth, and psychic abilities are returning, and the people in charge may not have these abilities. So they're going to be at a serious disadvantage. And then we have to realize that we do not want to treat them the way that they treated us.
Right.
That's another very important thing that we have to come to grips with.
Yeah.